Hello, it's Christine. Y'all, welcome to the struggle bus. This layout, while I do like the end result, I really struggled with it. Um, the papers were great, the products are great. I believe it's PinkFresh Studio, most of it. It did come in a hip kit. I don't remember now if this is one I bought on like a sale from them or if it was an actual monthly kit. I want to say it's a sale, but one of their box sales. But anyway, I love the papers. And I had picked this picture out. It's a picture of my daughter and my husband the first time we'd taken her ice skating, and it was at this mall, and it's gone now. So it's kind of cool that we have this picture. But and I even had a sketch. So, hey Saturn, I had a sketch. So my base layout, in all honesty, shouldn't have been that big a deal. Where I think I struggled, or where I got sideways, was well, I say that there's a couple different areas. One area is the color scheme. These pictures or these colors here, I think, go really well with the pictures. The paper on the bottom, the base paper, is just beautiful. It's this like kind of a navy, but it's got a little purpley tinge to it. And then the top of it, it has the pattern kind of fades away, or it almost looks to me like I picked it because it almost looked like snow or ice or something. And then there's a floral there, and that also kind of ended up messing with my head a little bit. I got a floral, and I was planning on using those florals. And then later I say, Christine, floral doesn't make any sense with ice, but okay. So I started with those, and then I had this yellow because it was part of the collection, or it was part of the kit rather. I don't think it's part of the collection. I think that's actually Maggie Holmes, but it had come in the collection, and it does go with those florals pretty well. And then I just go, no, the yellow doesn't look right. It just was too much. It was just too much. So I ended up switching it out, and you kind of see it underneath my hand there, but it's a black and white. It was a journaling card. I think I might have also gotten the Pocket Life or something like that. So anyway, I ended up choosing that. Behind the photo, you may have seen earlier in the video, I actually took the packaging because it was like a light gray stripe on the white backing of the ephemera packaging, and it was just so pretty. And I thought this is a great photo mat, so I trimmed it down to mat the photo. Now here's where I'm inking the edges. I decided, of course, again, I don't know if I do this on every layout, but I decided I wanted to ink the edges with gray to soften the edges of the papers here. Now this ombre piece of paper was not quite long enough to just use it as is, so I trimmed it a little, or cut it, split it, so I could make it longer appearing, and put it behind this. Um, oh my gosh, I know there's a name for that pattern, brick something or other. I don't remember, but herringbone. That's what I'm trying to say. Behind that herringbone paper, and so far I'm really happy with all these colors. I think this is really pretty. The photo isn't exactly, you know, professionally. I mean, it's me. I'm probably skating backwards or something slowly, taking a picture of my daughter and my husband. But they're all kind of this cool colors, except for that orange cone, which we're just going to pretend isn't there. But anyways, all the colors went really well with that picture. So I had taken that journaling card and I cut it. I really like that black and white. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, I can journal on top of that. I don't actually end up doing that. Isn't it funny how we start down one path and then we decide to go a whole different direction? So here's where in my head I'm going, oh, I can glue this card to the back of this picture, and then I put that foam under there. And then I realize I'm so goofy. I didn't really want the journaling card to be raised. So then I stick that down there and I realize, well, Christine, that's not going to work. I still keep on down this path though of putting that foam there, and then I realize that's not going to work. The card's all raised up. It's not right. So I have to pull it off. Y'all, again, this layout, y'all, was just a struggle. I'm just so goofy. I don't know why this was so hard today. Or it wasn't today, but the day I was doing it. But it was. I couldn't get anything squared away in my head. So I put my journaling, again, I thought it was going to be a journaling card. It turned out not being a journaling card. Um, hey, you know what? The creative process, though, means you got to be creative when you change your mind. So I'm using my T-square and I'm lining stuff up and gluing stuff down. Of course, that was a little bit crooked. Um, there we go. And I'm liking that so far. I had also pulled out that little die cut that said moments are more important than things, I think is what it says. And I wanted that right there. That's not technically the title, but I did like the concept, or the sentiment, I guess, rather, of moments instead of things. And because this is just cute, she's kind of hanging on to him. And I'm a little surprised he wasn't skating off into the wind, honestly, because he's just so daredevil. But she was hanging on to him and kind of scooting around the ice skating rink there. she was so cute. I think she was maybe 8 here, and her hair was so long, so long. It was all the way down to like the top of her butt, and she never did comb it, so it was always kind of messy, but it was just really pretty. Anyway, I'm putting some foam tape on the back of that little sentiment there, and I'm going to end up putting that right there. I'm going to nestle that next to the photograph. And I end up cutting. You'll note, you may or may not notice, but this video will cut kind of in and out. I actually ended up with 6 parts because I kept having to stop it to figure out what I want to do. Because here's the other part. I had these great embellishments, right? You can see them all there. They're all really pretty. Honestly, they're just beautiful. And I really struggled to figure out which ones to use here. It just something mentally, I had a block. I just couldn't get it right. Um, and unfortunately, I did have to cut out some of this because I think the camera was like moving or something. It was droopy. So you'll miss the part, but you can kind of see it now. I've got a little picture frame that has some color to it. So I did introduce some color, but to me it was a little bit subtle because the bottom part of it has the purple. So you'll see kind of the yellow around the picture frame. And the top left up there is where I took the little piece of that frame that I had trimmed apart, and I put that up underneath. I put the black and white floral, and then I layered the frame, and then there was another little sentiment that I layered over the top of it, and that just created a nice little cluster in the upper left corner. And then I had that other little cluster with that moment sentiment with the frame. And then I put that floral over on the left. It does not stay, but I'm building the title. And also I struggle with this one because first off, I can't find my tweezers, y'all. I don't know what happened to my tweezers. So I'm trying to use this X-Acto knife, which was kind of a hot mess. And I'm trying to line this title up. It's first ice skate, and I guess that is where that ends up. But I think I cut it out. But I really went back and forth on where does the skate get nestled to? Where does the ice get nestled to? Where the because you'll notice there's a couple of different kind of shelf options. The top of the frame, the top of that herringbone pattern, the top of the darker floral, the top. So there was all these kind of little shelf options, and I wanted it to look right, but I don't know. I ended up with this location. But then in my head, I'm going, okay, I need something on top of this black and white floral. I have to make something fit into that little pocket of space there. And I really kind of like this little, what is that, a leaf or whatever? The color looks really great with it. But then when I try to put the other leaf with it, it just didn't look right. And I really mess with this and mess with this and mess with this. And I ended up pulling that off. I don't know. It just, I struggled, y'all. Again, I got to this embellishment part and it was like nothing mentally worked for me, even though I had all those great embellishments over there. Just nothing looked right. I did pull out initially this, these are like little wood pieces with adhesive on the back of it, and there's gold. But the gold was a little too in your face. The only other gold I had was on the letters, and it's a thicker set, I believe, with a little small, they're white with little small gold leafing or something, or like a little small gold. Uh, I don't know what you call the little thing on the middle of the letter, but it's really pretty, but it's not really in your face. So you've seen I've switched that out. I did go looking into my die cut binder and I found these little ice skates. And I go, oh, those look great. And the colors were pretty good. They matched pretty well. So I'm going to stick with those. And then I loved how the little leaf went underneath it. And then I thought, oh, I've got some vellum. I've got this little envelope full of vellum pieces I had pre-cut. So that's kind of like ice, right? So I went into my vellum and I pulled out these ones that I had cut with little ticket punches. And I put one behind the ice skates, and I put one behind that floral. I don't now remember. I said I don't think it goes there, but maybe I do leave it there. I don't think that floral goes though. We'll see. I don't always remember it. I'm not looking at the layout. We'll see. Anyway, I did like the vellum though, so I put a little heart up there near that other cluster, and I think that works pretty good. So I have these vellum pieces building my little clusters there. Okay. So at the moment I'm thinking, okay, these don't look so bad. I've got again, I did like how that ice skate thing turned out. I'm really proud I found that. So now I'm looking through my little bin of enamel dot slash whatever those are called, the various different dots of things, colors and dots and things. And again, I have this gold kind of in those letters. So I don't mind a little gold. I just thought the one on the wooden shape was a little too much in my face. So I had pulled out the gold, they're kind of sparkly enamel dots. And then for whatever reason, I decided to get back over into the other clusters. Oh, and you might have seen just a moment ago, I adjusted the camera. And I say camera, I actually record on my phone, and I've got this little like clamp thing that hangs over my desk. And he was just getting droopy. I guess he wasn't tight. Anyway, so he'd start drooping, and I'd realize it after the fact. Okay, so I completely lied to you guys. That floral does stay. Um, I guess I liked it enough. Yeah, the colors weren't so far in my face I couldn't keep them in there, so I ended up liking that enough. So now I'm putting these gold dots in here using my if I don't cut myself eventually, I'll be surprised. I need to find my tweezers. I pulled them out to use with some stickers on my planner, and I could not tell you what I did with them. I got to find some. So I put the gold one, the bigger ones, and then I took black, and then I really debated, like, do I want a third color? Do I not want a third color? I ended up deciding because I thought maybe I could use white, right? Because it's down there, but I really didn't have the right shade of white. I just didn't have enough dots to work right. So ultimately, I'll end up deciding to keep that gold and do a second little gold dot. And then in the end, I'll show you. I use this Lindy Stamp Gang with, I think the name of it is, it's either like coal, lump of coal or something like that. Or maybe it's I'll have to find it. And maybe if you ask, I'll try to comment. But it's like a dark color. And I thought it was going to be kind of blackish or dark gray. And I will show you in the end, it is a dark gray in some ways, but it actually gives a gold like edge. So again, I'll show you in a moment. You'll see in the video, but it was actually a little bit of a surprise. I must not, I know I had the water in it, so I must have created it. I must have either forgotten how it worked or didn't remember that I never used it. I really don't know. So here's where I'm using it. Okay, that's the Lindy Stamp Gang. I'm getting my little sprinkly stuff, and I'm thinking, okay, do 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 do. It's gonna give me a little, little dark spots there. You could almost even see it here. It's changed colors. It's the coolest thing, y'all. It turns gold with like a black edge. Um, maybe I said it backwards a minute ago. Here, I've slowed it down, and I'll point it out to you in a moment. Can you see that? It may be hard to see, but see how it kind of turns gold with like a black edge? Anyway, that's the cluster in the upper left. You can kind of see the rest of the layout there. Again, I like the layout. I liked how it turned out. But I'm not going to lie, this was a struggle. So I really appreciate you guys watching me on the struggle bus. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.